Is this a fun piece, guys? The
All right.
behind the scenes pain in the butt.
We should do the show.
Making the show.
The curse of Yeezy, Dylan says.
It probably is. All right, guys.
All right.
Let's make another
Adventures
podcast.
in Instagram. All right. Let me get this up here on my phone. I usually read this off my iPad, but my iPad is locked away in the home office, which used to be my office, but it's not anymore. It's been taken away. I don't have anywhere to go anymore. I have no home office. You're going to read the
intro in the first 3, and then I'll take it the rest.
Yeah. Hold on, though. Now my phone is not showing my notes. Okay, I got it.
Actually, if you read the intro in the first 1 key fact, I'll read the last 3 key facts, and we'll stop there.
So wait. What am I doing? I'm reading the intro.
The intro, which says top line, and then the first key fact, and I'll read the last 3 key facts, and we'll.
Okay. Intro and 1 key fact. Okay.
I really like these pieces. Just the way they do it. It's perfect for us. Okay.
So good.
Thank you, Forbes. Because that's new. I haven't seen them do it this way. So, all right. We are recording. This is for Monday, the 2021, September 21st.
Kanye West says he wants to be free from his contracts and he is not releasing music until he gets his way. Oh, and yeah, he's trying to upstage Taylor Swift again. It is Monday, September 21st. Let's talk money with our friends. Welcome to the Money with Friends podcast. I am certified financial planner, Bobbi Rebell, host of the Financial Grown Up podcast, coming to you from my very grown-up kitchen in New York City.
And coming to you from Palm Springs, California, where we make episodes of the Stacky Benjamin Show in my mom's basement. I'm Joe Saul-Sehy.
This is the Money News Show that includes commentary on recent headlines with stories from thought leaders from across the financial landscape. We break those stories down into what matters to you, our friends, and we leave you with a takeaway so you can make it your own.
Big thanks to NordPass for supporting Money with Friends. We lock passwords. You hold the keys with NordPass. Store your passwords in the cloud. Access them on desktop, mobile, or your favorite browser. All encrypted on your device for your eyes only. You'll get 50% off and a 30-day money-back guarantee if you use our link, nordpass.com/MWF for Money with Friends. That's nordpass.com/MWF. Bobbi, I find it hard to believe that Kanye West is in the headlines. Kanye's never a headline, is he?
He is so genius. He is genius. Always.
I feel like in some ways when it comes to Kanye and headlines, he's like the new P.T. Barnum, right? Just spell my name right and keep me in the. But he also, like P.T. Barnum, is quite an artist and brings it with his, a lot of his albums universally. People talk about how brilliant his work is.
He has talent. He's a very talented person. We all have to say that. He just is. And not only with music, he's someone that's been able to have incredible success in areas that many people would be skeptical that he could, and yet he's done incredibly well.
We're going to talk about Kanye, contracts, keeping yourself relevant. Let's see which one of the geniuses that hang out on Money with Friends is going to help us kick off today's show.
All right, this is a piece from Forbes. It is by Alana Lynn Gross, and the headline is Kanye West says he won't release music until he's freed from contracts, claims his masters are worth more than Taylor Swift's. After deleting a tweet Monday declaring he would not release new music until he is released from his contracts with Sony/ATV Music Publishing and Universal, Kanye West on Tuesday shared a screenshot of what appeared to be a text message conversation with an unnamed advisor who proposed potential game plans and claimed West's masters are worth more than Taylor Swift's. West, who has been open about his diagnosis as bipolar, tweeted, quote, he's putting no more music out until I'm done with my contract with Sony and Universal. Quote, West demanded to see, quote, everybody's contracts, unquote, at Sony and Universal and said he would not, quote, watch my people be enslaved, unquote, and would put his, quote, life on the line for them, comparing the music industry and the NBA to modern-day slave ships and himself to Moses. West tweeted that he had not heard from Universal or Sony and that it was go time, including the apparent conversation with his advisor, who shared 3 possible strategies. West's advisor claimed they could argue that Universal and Sony breached their contract by not supporting West fully, noting, quote, this is the lawsuit /termination nuclear option and would mean they would litigate and ask for his masters as part of a settlement agreement. West, who Forbes this year estimated had become a billionaire, according to Forbes, could buy his masters or re-record them. But if Taylor's cost $300 million, yours would cost a lot more, I assume, the advisor said, referring to Scooter Braun's 2019 acquisition of the label Big Machine Records. West could also propose a Yeezy Media and Universal joint venture that is, quote, equal and not one-sided. But West replied that he is not open to any form of business with Universal or Sony. Braun's Ithaca Holdings last year bought Big Machine Records, which had owned the rights to the master recordings of Swift's first 6 albums, reportedly for $300 million.
It's interesting, Bobbi, when we look at this. I mean, there's so many ways we can go. Number one, let's talk about first the media involvement. Why do you think that Kanye makes all this stuff public? Is it to put pressure on Sony and Universal? Is that the deal, by making it the court of public opinion?
Well, I think that is part of it. I think he also wants to, he is also running for president. We didn't get to that part. He is running for president. So it's interesting that he makes these larger statements about it, that it's not just about him, that he feels he's making a stand for a broader sector of the population. So I think that may be part of it. And also these grand statements that he's made in the past do seem to work in his favor. They're very outlandish. He compares himself to Moses, and that is something that he has come to on a fairly regular basis. So I don't know. I mean? And by the way, a lot of his money, this is interesting. It sounds like a really bold move, but and it is, because of course he's first and foremost, an artist, but his net worth is largely because of, at this point, he's making a lot of money in his fashion brand, which he owns completely. And maybe this is also something where he signed these contracts when he didn't have the leverage. Even if you quote know better when you're younger and you sign these contracts, and the article talks about Taylor Swift being 15, that doesn't mean you have the leverage to get a better contract. You don't necessarily, just because you know it's a bad contract, there's someone else who's willing to sign the bad contract. So Kanye has his music contracts he's clearly not happy with right now, but his Yeezy brand, he owns 100% of that. And that was created when he did have the leverage and the funding.
I love going into, though, the contract piece of this, because if we try to do a takeaway for the average person listening, it's funny. I was just on the phone this morning with a friend of mine who is changing companies. She found out that she's not being paid as much as coworkers that she works with, and yet people continually tell her that she's very valuable. When she found out, she actually went to her boss and said, "Hey, I just found out that I'm getting a third less than this dude over here who's been here less." Yeah, who's been here less long than I've been here, and I'm she's more, quote, valuable to the company, really, in a lot of ways, because of her role than this person is. But by the time you get to the point that that's public, that it's out there's no walking it back. There's so much bad. Like, she realized that if she took that and went public, which, by the way, she didn't do, but if she went public with all this information, there'd be no way to walk it back. It would give her incredible leverage on one hand, but on the other hand, dragging people to the table doesn't work. So while it might work for Kanye West in this, because he's such a star, doing that in our own lives, like learning from this and going, okay, well, if Kanye can do it, I'm going to my boss and I'm going to say, hey, I want to renegotiate my contract. I'm going to tell everybody on Twitter first that I'm doing that. Not going to be as successful. So I'd say, watch what Kanye does, but don't do what Kanye does.
Well, also, the unfortunate reality is not everyone has the same amount of leverage. You can read a contract and understand what you're signing, but that doesn't mean you're going to get your way. It means the goal is to have transparency and to have the right amount of information, because in any negotiation, he who has more information is usually going to have the upper hand. But, I mentioned that further in the article, I don't know if you want to read more of it. It does talk about the fact that Taylor Swift was 15 years old, and she didn't really have control over those first 6 albums. Even if she knew that when she signed it, even if she had the best advisors in the world, that doesn't mean she would have gotten a better deal. And, a lot of interesting things came out of Hollywood at one point when we saw that these women were paid significantly less than these men. In almost every case, that's, wrong. And it's sexism and all that. It's gender discrimination. But there are cases when there was one case, and I don't remember which movie it was, where the male actor was the star of the movie. It had a huge role, was in so many more scenes, and the female, lead was in a fraction of the scene. So and was not as famous or whatever. So it's not always equal, right? Now in this case, Kanye is huge selling. He may be equal, or maybe he has more value to a record label than Taylor Swift, depending on album sales and all the other metrics that they use. But it's not always as clear as just saying because they have the same job title that they should be paid the same.
Well, and it's funny,
that's where some people get confused.
Yeah, this is the last time or second time in the last 24 hours I've had a discussion about this, because there is a big fight coming up on Showtime, and one of the boxers' coaches was telling me that the boxer they're going up against, that he's often seen as a loose cannon, because he talks about stuff in the media and scene. He goes, but if you go back and you actually look at when and how he actually makes things public, he's using his leverage in a great way. So it's very popular to think of Kanye West is just out there and what the hell's he doing? But you got to think that, man, with the leverage he has, Bobbi, to your point, that this could be very calculated.
What do you think about bringing Taylor Swift into the story, which is what he's deliberately done?
Well, I think it's much like a football contract where they go, hey, I'm competing directly against this person. These are their stats. Here's my stats. And hey, if you want to give them 300 million, I'm worth more than that. So right now it's up there colloquially. I haven't looked at the numbers, but it would be interesting to see if you put Taylor Swift's numbers in terms of sales up against Kanye West sales, like what those sales look like and how much money, how much value they bring, and what, brand, what that brings to see. So, but, and you also wonder the lawyer's motivation. I like what, we do this show live, and Dylan hanging out with us says that his lawyer's definitely not going to text him again, not going to expose himself to Kanye potentially tweeting something again. So maybe not, but because we really don't know if the lawyer was doing it to appease him. Like, I don't know if Kanye is this wild and crazy person when he's behind the scenes, or if he's much more calculating behind the scenes. I could see the lawyer doing one of two things here with this thing that Kanye tweeted. Number one, he was telling him, hey, look at the values and yours are worth more. Second thing I could see is this is a star client he has that comes across like a firecracker going off at all different times. And I'm just going to tell this guy what he wants to hear, to make him feel good. I mean, I've had people in my life that you can tell are just, they laugh a little too loud. They give you the golf clap every time you do something great. Maybe the lawyer's a little bit of a yes man. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out, but I would not bet against Kanye. That's all I would say. Somehow, for all the nuttiness and whatever, he's done so well. He's done so well for himself.
But contract-wise, well, I'd love to hear what your takeaway is for this, because while this is big celebrity headline stuff, I think I'm excited to apply it to our own life. We're going to do that in just a second with Bobbi and my takeaways. But first, want to say a big thanks to everybody who used our link when they went to NordPass. It makes so much sense to use a password manager, whether it's NordPass, frankly, or a different password manager, because of the fact that you're not going to come up with 50 different well, 50 is a small number. When I look at the number of things I have in NordPass, I have so many passwords, so many places that need a password. And if I trust that my one password is going to be great, the problem is a hacker gets one, they get them all. NordPass locks the passwords. They give you a different password for every single one. They're always creative. It's always something you would have never thought of yourself. All you have to remember is how to get into NordPass. And then every single place is absolutely different and secure. And when it's not secure, by the way, if there's been any compromise, NordPass tells you that, hey, this place has had an outage. You need to go change your password. And I do that from time to time. And NordPass always tells me when it's time to do that. So you store your passwords in the cloud. You can get to them wherever you want. If you need to share a password with a person, you can do that securely, so only that person sees the password. You'll also get 50% off and a 30-day money-back guarantee if you use our link, nordpass.com/MWF. That's nordpass.com/MWF for the special takeaway and discount. So congratulations to everybody who used our link. All right, Bobbi, what are we going to learn from Kanye today?
Never underestimate somebody in business, regardless of how dramatic their personality is. And I have dramatic in like quotation marks. I have been so skeptical about this guy, but he is very shrewd about keeping his name in the news and keeping the money flowing into his pockets despite or because of all the drama. And of course, reminder, he is running for president. So
I love that takeaway because and mine is just going to add on to the back end of that. I had a mentor one time tell me that every argument is a cube, and when you understand the other side of the cube, you're going to, quote, win. Actually, everybody wins in that discussion. Usually we're sitting on one side of the cube and we see our life. The other person sitting on the other side, they see their life. My goal is not to see mine and to shove mine into your area. My goal is to understand and see your side. And if I understand your side, I'm much more likely to come to some sort of a resolution. I would say, don't do what Kanye does, but definitely try to understand the fact that he has leverage and how he's using that leverage and what might be going on here with his lawyer. Like understanding all those things is, I think, going to help you make better decisions when it comes to negotiating your own contracts and figuring out your own next steps with your career. Love that piece. I love learning from celebrities, Bobbi. What do we have?
yeah.
What do we have? What do we have coming up? We have a big thing.
It's Alumni Week.
Yes.
Oh, besides Alumni Week, we're going to be revealing our next season's cast very soon.
It is super exciting that the new cast is coming out. Can't wait for everybody to hear that. We're going to keep the alumni a surprise for now. People want to help us make the show. How do they do that?
Go to our YouTube channel, Money with Friends on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed. You can set up little reminders and you will get, what do you call those? The little, I don't know, notifications. Set up the notifications so you know when we're going to record. And by the way, for next season, we are going to have a much more regular schedule that will be posted on our website, moneywithfriendspodcast.com. And we're going to try to stick to it. We may veer off on occasion, but we're going to have a much more regular schedule so you'll know when we're going to be coming on to record and you can be part of the live show if you so choose. And of course, we always send out or try to always send out little reminders right before on our social media at Money Friends Pod on both Instagram and Twitter.
Dylan's wondering if Kanye is going to be part of the cast.
Absolutely. Yes, let's reveal that right now. Kanye, absolutely. You got it. How did you guess that? We got him.
Well, here's the. I will say this, Dylan.
No, we do not have Kanye as part of the cast.
Oh, you shouldn't say that. I should have said. You got to say we can neither confirm nor deny.
Yes,
and we also don't know. I mean,
confirm or deny.
Let's be realistic, Bobbi. If Kanye called us tomorrow and said, "I want to be on Money with Friends," Kanye, you're on. It's okay.
Absolutely.
We don't do that for everybody, Kanye, but we will do it
only
for you.
Kanye.
It's okay. Yes. All right. She's Bobbi.
He's a good businessman. It would be good.
She's Bobbi. I'm Joe. We'll see you next time at Money with Friends. Bye-bye. Oh, that was fun.
I should have said, cannot confirm or deny.
You read further into the article than I thought we were going. I thought we were stopping.
No, I thought I left the last three. I realized that afterwards, but I thought you were doing the bottom three, and I left the bottom three.
Oh, the bottom three.
And then you didn't read them.
Section. No, just that section. So just
so I read. I thought you wanted the bottom three of the article, and I was like, why is he not reading about Taylor and about the presidential campaign or whatever? So.
Yeah, because you read all mine. So I'm like,
sorry.
We're good. That's all right. That's fun.
It's because I have my phone. I usually read off the the iPad, but that again is in my home office, which I have not had access to since March. So, and
by the way, the second thing that I don't know that never mind. I was going to say
my chat feature went blank, but I didn't want to, there's some problem. We had a little technical problem, but I didn't want to mess with it because I didn't want to mess up our connection. So I couldn't see the comments from everybody. So
I was also going to unplug my laptop and plug this light back in, but I'm like, I'll leave it the same.
No, don't do that.
Fun. All right, guys, we're on to next activity. You are too. Have a great.
Oh, wait, let's tell them. We're recording the reveal show on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, this is. Yeah. So we have had phenomenal cast, just phenomenal cast. And every time we have a season, we go, this is our best cast ever. This is our best cast ever. Frankly, I didn't know how we were going to beat this season with all the great people that are on. I don't know how we're going to beat this upcoming season. I
don't think we will. I think we're just going to keep the bar at that level. It's a very high bar, and we're just going to keep coasting at that high level afterwards because we won't beat it. We won't beat it. The challenge will be to equal it.
Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Monday, 10 a.m.
Yeah,
Eastern.
and I'm going to be on with my alumni recording earlier that morning. I think 8 a.m. that morning. I'm doing my alumni recording before that.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be fun. All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.